Hey guys, this is my July and August reading wrap up plus my TBRs. So this video is going to be a little bit different. It's actually going to kind of be two videos in one. So I completely filmed an August TBR video plus my wrap up from July, and it was all ready to go and I was editing it, and then just life got in the way and it just kept getting further and further and further into August. And now suddenly it's the end of August and I have not posted the video. What happened? What happened? How? It literally was the beginning of August, like last week. How is it literally the last week of August? I don't understand. Now this is brought to me to a kind of joint mixed video, I guess. So you're gonna see some of this Angela, you're gonna see some past Angela. We're doing our best here. Life is just not our friend right now. So, for July, I had a really big reading month. I was filming a video. It was my summer reading vlog that I'm excited to post soon, eventually, hopefully whenever I can get it finished editing. So that helped me read a lot more books, and it was my biggest reading month of the year. And I had some good ones, I had some bad ones, but I'm gonna let past Angela take over and let you know what I read. I started off the month really strong with Zodiac Academy, Shadow Princess. It's the fourth book. I rated it 4.5 stars. I zoomed through this book. I probably read it way too fast. I didn't do anything. I just read. I just sat there and read. I was so excited to finally be back into the Zodiac world after reading the Ruthless Boy series. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited, and so much happened. And then at the end of this book, I cried because just stuff goes down, and I can't wait. I can't wait to read more. So my next book, because you kind of go back a little bit in time to do some two novellas, is the way I heard how you should read it, and that's how I've been doing it. And I kind of struggling with it a little bit because I just need to know the fifth book. I read Origins of an Academy Bully, so I got that, and I was like, okay. It was just kind of a simple 2.5 hour book. It was just kind of I didn't technically need to read it. It was just a little bit more detail about how things played in the past, which was cool. But I was just so I want to know what happened in book 5. I kind of don't care about this right now. And then that's where I'm kind of at with Zodiac Academy. I'm in the 1.5 novella, and it's the Awakening as told by the boys. And so that's what I'm currently reading with Zodiac, and I didn't read any more Zodiac for the rest of the month. My July TBR video, I thought I was going to be reading so much more Zodiac, and that's all the Zodiac I read this month. Then I immediately jumped into one of my July TBRs with their roommate situation. So I'm really proud of myself for reading this book because I've owned this for a really long time. I got it for Christmas a couple years ago, and I've never been pulled to pick it up since getting it, but I loved this book. This book was so fun. I ended up rating it 3.75 stars. It was just a cute little fun read. It wasn't quite to the 4-star, but it was close. And I was it was perfect because I was wanting to read this, and I had picked it in I think I chose it for my romance little poll for my July TBR, and so it was just perfect. And I think that was really good to have it be a prompt, and I immediately picked this up, and I read it in 2 sittings. So now we are on to the books that I read for my summer reading vlog. So you'll be able to see me read through these and my opinions more and my thoughts and just kind of the whole vlog situation. But in this video, you'll be able to see every book I read for it. So I started with summer reading. I wasn't fully in love with this book. It was kind of a slow start after the good roommate situation. And so because this was so good, it's not called the good roommate situation. It's just because it was so good. So then I went into this and I'm the romance was it was a cute read. It was I loved the relationship between her and her brother. I keep just saying that. It was a cute brother sister stuff, and then forming and becoming siblings. I think the romance main character had all of the things to be hot, but it just kind of felt a little bit forced, if that makes sense. I loved that that there was a dyslexic character, and that was added into. That was a really cool aspect and take on it. I ended up rating this 3 stars. So then I wanted to spice some things up, and I read It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. Loved this book. It was so good. The romance didn't quite hit for me, but it hit more than the last book that I read for sure. So it was a perfect little fun summer read, and I'm so glad I read it. I ended up rating this 3.75 stars as well. So I definitely liked this. I definitely liked Piper. She was an amazing main character, and it was just a fun story, and it was really, I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did, honestly. Also, I forgot to say, I rated Origins of an Academy Bully 3 stars is how much I rated that. I was just kind of in the middle. I was about it. So then I finally finished this nonfiction book I started. It was my first nonfiction book of the year. I kind of want to try and dabble a little bit more into it, kind of, you know, some self-help and like mental health books and things like that. But I struggle, especially this one. I was just struggling with it. I was like, I don't care. It's not a story. I don't like care to jump into it. But I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna finally finish reading it. So I did, and that was Make Your Bed: The Little Things That Can Change the World. It was actually interesting. I wasn't expecting it to be written by someone who was in the SEAL, like in the Navy, and like one of the SEALs, and like this really high, like general or whatever, like admiral, whatever he is. So that was kind of cool, and it was kind of cool to hear like real life stories about his time in like the military. So that was really cool to see. But it was just like a simple book, and it did have good meanings, and I did like that. It just was kind of hard to keep picking up, but I finally finished it, and I didn't rate this book. I kind of felt weird rating it just because it is like a nonfiction book, and I think I'm going to try to not rate nonfiction books just because I don't know if I could put a rating on someone's like life experiences. I don't know, that's weird to me. So and I know other people haven't rated nonfiction books too, and I might be being inspired by them, but I was like, I don't know what I would rate this, so I'm not going to. So then I got back into the books that I was reading for my summer reading vlog, and I read Daughter of the Pirate King. And so this one was really fun. I loved this. This made me like really excited to read some more fantasy. It like was such a nice, good, just like I didn't feel disappointed when I read this book, and that's so rare right now with fantasy. Like I'm so scared to jump into fantasy, and I was really scared to jump into this, but I didn't have any reason to be, because this was such a good pirate book. This was such a good fantasy book. I loved the romance. The main character was badass. I love that the main character just like already knew what she was doing, and it was kind of nice. It was kind of a nice change, and I love it. And so I couldn't put it down. I love this book a lot, and I'm so glad I read it, and I definitely want to read more by this author. I ended up rating this 4.25 stars. Since I had split it up a little bit with the fantasy, I went back into a romance book with People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I finally read this book. I'm so proud of myself. I kept putting it off because I was like, I need to read this in the summertime. So it finally became the summertime, and I was like, I'm gonna read it. And then it was one of my polls for my July TBR as well, and it was like, I think it was your pick or something. There was something in there that I was like, that this made it on the TBR, and so I was able to get this off the TBR. So I did this one in the roommate situation off my TBR for July, and I didn't read anything else because none of them was like hitting or like what I was wanting to read, and I was like, it's fine. And I also kind of basically formed this reading month around this reading vlog and this book specifically, because I was like, I want to read this book, and then let's just go read some other fun summary books. So that's kind of how the reading month went. But I love this book. I read this so fast too, like a little too fast. All I did was sit and like read for 8 hours. But it's fine. I ended up rating this 4.75 stars. So close. The romance and a couple like in the ending, there was a little bit that kind of turned it out to be from a 5-star, but it was so close to be one. But I'm so glad that I liked another Emily Henry book. It kind of has the same formula. The other book too that I read by her a couple years ago had the same, like the ending kind of ruined it a little bit, but the rest of the story was so good, so I rated it super high, and that was the same situation with this one. So that was cool to see, and I can't wait to keep reading Emily Henry. So then I was struggling because I started Never Coming Home, and this was the last book in my summer reading vlog, and I was struggling with this book. I was struggling a lot, and all I wanted to do was read more fantasy, because I read Daughter of the Pirate King, and to be more specifically, I wanted to read Daughter of the Siren Queen. And so I was just like, I like read about like this much of the book, and I was just struggling a lot. So I went on my Instagram and I was asking your guys' opinions, and I actually picked a little bit more from my TBR jar to kind of figure out like, what could I be reading right now, and went on my Instagram. So go follow my Instagram for little things like that. I'm not on there very, very much, but I'm hoping to be on there more. And then right after I had filmed all of that and picked out and I was like letting the poll and helping you guys, having you guys help me decide what I was going to read next, which was really close to being Powerless. So this might be on my August TBR because I was super close to reading it. Daughter of the Siren Queen became available on audio in my library, and I was like, borrow immediately, and I just jumped right into that. Finished the duology part of the series. There's a third book that's like about a different character, but it's kind of like the main character for Daughter of the Pirate King and Daughter of the Siren Queen, her story is over basically. And I know it probably continues in the other one, but she's not the main character anymore basically. And that was so good. The romance was so good. The action was so good. I loved her being like in the second book, she was more of a pirate rather than a prisoner like in this book. And it was just so cool to see how badass she was and just exploring different things about herself. And it was good. And I loved the romance, and I loved that it didn't immediately jump into the romance after the end of the first book. They were still trying to work through things until like probably almost the end of the book. So it was really nice about that. So I loved that, and I ended up rating it 4.5 stars. It was so good, and I loved it so much. So then after that, like reading it was a good time. I finished out the month with Never Coming Home. I finally finished this book. I was really debating if I was gonna finish it. I just was struggling, and then I just sat down and I was like, I'm just gonna finish reading it. So I kind of ended the month in a bad way. I ended up rating this 2 stars. I have a really hard time rating books lower because I only have ever 1-star rating book, and I only have ever like I think 1 2-star rating book. So I want to try and get better. I really just didn't like this book, and that's okay. And I hate that I'm like, oh, I didn't like it, because I know I don't like books, but I'm like, but there were parts I liked about it though. But it's like as a whole, I didn't like it. So I rated it 2 stars. So yeah, that was my reading month. 10 books. Wow. Right? That was a crazy reading month. I don't usually read 10 books, but I was vlogging and I was just getting me excited to read. But because of that, August was way down. I kind of I wouldn't say I was in a slump, but I was a little burnt out because I had just read so many books, and then I was like, I just don't want to read right now. And then I was trying to want to read, but then like it wasn't. August, not as big at all. I want to talk about what I picked for my August TBR, and then I want to tell you what I actually got done for my August TBR. So I'm not going to do the whole polling and unraveling. I'm not going to leave that in this video. It would be way too long if I did that. So I'm just going to like give you them all. Like at the very end of the video, I just read them all out. So that's what I'm going to leave in this video. I'm just going to tell you what they all were. So here is that, Angela. Be Fallen was for the one that has stars on it. Curse So Dark and Lonely was just like picked by the name. Powerless as a book with a pretty cover. The Dreaming Beauty. Graceling. Crave by Tracy Wolff. Lilacs and Leather by Thora Woods. Oh, and Graceling was a book with a cover that makes you nervous. Oh, the lowest rated on Goodreads was The Anti-Virginity Pact. Never Dying by Shanti Henderson. The Maddest Obsession by Danielle Laurie. You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hoggle. Fortune Falls by Lou Vane. Tide and Tempest by Lindsay Pogue, something like that. A King So Cold by Ellie Fields. And Lore by Alexandria Bracken. So 15 books from the TBR. This whole beautiful lady's full head of hair, just all this paper. Yep, and then I have like some of the physical books with me right here because a lot of it was on my TBR, my physical TBR. So here is my little pile here, and I'm gonna cut to how many of these books I actually read, and I will include like audiobooks on the screen too if I don't have the physical book. So, are y'all ready? Are you ready to see what I all read from my TBR? You like my empty hand of nothing? Nothing. I read not one book from my TBR. It's fine. It's fine. I tried. Let me tell you, I tried, but none of the books were hitting. I was like, I don't want to read any books. I was also just having kind of a hard reading month, and I was like so excited because I was like, oh my god, all these like fantasy books, especially this one. I really wanted to read this one. This one was super fun. Like I was really excited about this one. Nothing. Not a single one. So good job, Angela. So I'm like debating because the 2 months I have done my TBR jar, I read 2 from July and 0 from August. So it's helping me kind of figure out like books that I like, options to be like, ooh, I should go try and read this, but I'm not getting very much of them read because a lot of them are like, even though some of them were like ones I wanted to read on it. So I don't know what's going on. I thought for this video, I'm gonna change it up a little bit again. So last video that I wasn't gonna leave in, I did it where I like had this random generator on my phone and it told me how many I was gonna pick from the jar. And like, let's say it told me I had to pick 5. I picked 5 and the 5th book, like the 5th roll was gonna be the book I read. I think I'm just gonna pick them. I'm gonna pick 15. Because I don't have any of this roll back up, I think I'm gonna go look through these again and see if I want to keep any of them for my September TBR, just so I can try again. Cause like, I think I want to put Powerless on my September TBR, but I kind of am starting to want to get more, a little bit, not very fall, but a little bit more kind of end of summery vibes. Cause I'm just not in the mood to like read like this super happy, fun summery one anymore. I think it just, my reading vlog got that want scratched, and now we're on to something else. So yeah, so that's kind of the plan for the August TBR. I think I'm also going to pick however many I don't pick from the unscrolled from the TBR jar. I'm gonna unroll them, and if I'm like absolutely not, then I'm gonna still follow the rule of the scroll. Basically, every color means something different. Each book is its own genre, right? So I think I'm gonna follow whatever the rule of the color is and whatever genre it is, and find something that I actually want to read and put that scroll back. But I'm still I'm cheating, but it's fine. Is my TBR, my video. I'm gonna cheat. I'm admitting to it. So, but before we get to our September TBR, let's talk about what I actually read in August, because we know I didn't read any of my August TBR. Okay, y'all ready? You ready for the 4 books that I actually have all of them physical copy that I can show you? Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Do you see that bottom book? Do you see that bottom book? Okay, let's talk about them. Let's talk about them. I finally finished the 1.5 novella for Zodiac Academy, The Awakening as Told by the Boys. I'm really glad I did end up reading it. I was just so bored. I was like, it's just like I already knew everything that was happening, and I was like, I don't care. Why are they also being so lustful? It was just kind of pissed me off. But I am really glad I read this book, because in book 5, there were some things that happened that I don't think I would have, like, I obviously would be stressed about, but not as stressed if I hadn't read this book. Like, the novellas just really helped kind of understand these characters even more, especially the boys in this book. This helped a lot, and just knowing how gross like Darius's dad Lionel is, and just things like that. So it's just, it was really helpful to me to read this book, so I'm glad I did. So the next book I read was The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I was wanting to like this book. I was like liking it, but then there was like, I was liking it but not liking it, and then liking it and then not liking it. It was just, I was kind of a mix. So this was my first Christina Lauren book after I finished Love and Other Words like a year and a half ago. I just that book like kind of turned me off for a second. I didn't like the ending. I think the ending just like settled like after reading reviews, it like helped me realize, I was like, oh, the ending wasn't my favorite. So it kind of just put me off from Christina Lauren for a while. And I read this one, and the tension was there. The potential was there. There was a couple bumps that just kind of, for me. I liked the ending. They were cute, but like the tension break just wasn't there. There was like building up sexual tension, then we didn't get that scene. And then it was like a closed door. And then they just were like, okay, we're dating now. But I'm like, haven't you guys hated each other for like your whole entire time you know each other, and now you guys kiss and have sex once, and now you're just like, we love each other? I think they had sex a couple more times. I think we maybe got one scene at like the very end of their vacation. Anyways, it just wasn't, the tension break just wasn't there. When I went to this like little camp out thing with these other readers in August, someone said the romance like finally happening, and like them, like the lovers like the enemies turning into lovers, or the friends turning into lovers. It's like the reader's version of a touchdown, and I love that. But I didn't get my touchdown. It was like the game just suddenly we won without like the final, oh my God, are they gonna win? I guess. It wasn't my favorite, but I could have liked it more. I don't know. I'm just so confused. I don't know what I don't know if this author is actually for me, and it was just a new author that I was reading as I was getting into reading, but now that I've read more, she isn't for me anymore, or if it's just like this specific book. It wasn't that I hated it, don't get me wrong. It was just like right in the middle. I'm just like in the middle about it. So this I gave 3 stars. Oh, I gave this one, I think 4 stars. Hold on. Dude, I hate that Goodreads doesn't give you like point options. It's just like you get to choose 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars. Like I want to do like a 3.75 sometimes, you know? It's fine. It's also 11 o'clock at night, so I'm a little tired. So if I'm a little crazy, I apologize. Okay, yes, I rated this 3.75 stars. Oh, I also rated this a 3.75 as well. I might bring this down to like a 3.5. But yes, it was just kind of in the middle. Kind of in the middle. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. You know? Like, it was cute. It could have been really cute. Like, I liked it a lot, but just I didn't get that freaking touchdown, man. Also, thank you, the person who gave me that terminology now. It like is the best way to like explain the, oh my God, they're lovers now, you know? It's just, it's good. It's good. The tension break moment, you know? So then I read this giant book. I don't know why this book is so goddamn huge. Like, I have some of the other books from the library that's further in the series, and they have bigger audiobooks than this one, but this is the biggest book out of them. I think those ones are taller or something, and that's why they don't, like, they're not as fat. But like, this book is huge. Like, it's giant. I don't know if you can freaking like see that, but it's giant. This book gave me a lot of feelings. The ending enraged me a lot. It hit a little close to home, not for me, but for people that I know. And it just made me uncomfortable and it pissed me off. And I was like, I would have rather had a character die. I don't want a character to die, obviously. I just was like, how is this gonna play out? And like, it's not gonna be good. I like that it's being like brought into the book and it's gonna be like, you know, it's gonna be really uncomfortable to read the next book. And I did have to have one of the people that I'm reading this story with, that they're further in the series than I am, tell me if a certain thing happens, and they said it doesn't. But like, there's a scene where you think it almost happens, and that's gonna make me so, I'm gonna hate that. So I'm just a little like, are you kidding me? I was really liking this series, and now I'm like leaving book 5 on like a, ugh. But like that's just like this much of the book. The rest of this book, oh my God, I loved it. The tension that the ending of book 4 gave to this book between Darius and Tori was so good. The freaking forbidden love trope in this book was just good, and the tension that I have been wanting was there. It was like, he was actually wanting to try, and like they're trying to like not go against fate, and it's just, obviously it wasn't perfect, but it was like, it was giving me the tension that I was wanting without him being a bully and an asshole. Like, he was still Darius, he's still Darius, but it was a different side of Darius, and I'm cheering on them for even more, but now I'm even more worried. I'm upset, and I know that's just gonna get worse because I still have so many more books in this series, and I hear book 7 is gonna break my heart, so it's gonna shatter me. But one of my friends was saying that something that I'm really wanting to happen will happen soon, because I've just been like telling them all of my like wants and things like that. Due to the fact, it was this book that opened a new oh. Well, good thing this fell out, because I would have returned this to the library with this in. Anyways, this book kind of make me ship in 2 boys. Seth and Caleb, you have some tension going on, sirs. And this book, I don't know why I didn't think about it before, but now I'm like, so I'm really hoping that has to do with them, is what they're saying, that I'm gonna be really happy about. But I have 2 novellas between this one and the 6th book. I think I need to make sure my mental health is good, at least a little bit more stable than it is now, before I can start book 6. Which I'm so disappointed, because this series was escape from reality, and now it's just too close to, it's just, I'm frustrated, but I have hope, and I'm not gonna just like not finish the series because I love it a lot. I just am frustrated. Anyways, so this video is it's already long as it is. This video is gonna be so long. It's okay. I'm putting 2 months together. Then that brings us to the freaking queen of the month, the royal star. I don't know what words I'm trying to use right now, but just the reigning star of the month, the freaking 5-star beauty. Oh, I gave this one 4.5 stars. I was really close to giving it 4.57, but 4.75, but I just like, the ending just made me, I was like, no, I have to do 4.5, but the rest of the book kept it that high. Anyways, to our star, you can already see what it is. I am kicking myself so bad for not starting this book sooner. love this book. I love this book. 5 stars. It's so good. The ending of this book made me go buy Iron Flame today. I finished this last night. Already bought Iron Flame. I want to finish this video so I can go start it before bed. I have to be really careful because this book made me stay up till 5 in the morning on Sunday night when I had to work on Monday. This book, a drug. This book, addicting. This book, it's like addicting like the Zodiac Academy series, but like in a different way. Zodiac Academy is kind of like a drug that I know isn't like perfect, but I still just can't put it down. There's just something about it. Like, it's not my absolute favorite of all time, but it's so addicting. It's like a reality TV show kind of addicting. Well, this is just, it was so fucking good. The way that it was written, I can see why this book is so popular now. I'm so stupid for not waiting so long to read this book. Like, I was so scared because fantasy and I just are not on the same terms right now. I was just so scared I wasn't gonna like it. I'm so fucking stupid. I might have also just read it at the right time, but I love this book. I love this book a lot. The way everything was played out, like you wanted to know as much, like Violet wanted to know if she was going to survive, and you wanted to know if Violet was going to survive. You wanted to know if Violet was going to be able to make it through every stage. So every stage, I'm like, is she can do it? Like, I had to know what's going to happen with every stage, and then on that stage, okay, it's fine. So now I need to know the next one. Like, I can't just stop there. I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe we're here, but we're not here, you know? Like, I need to know, like, you know, about the dragons and about all the trials, and it's just so good. Xaden? Sir, you're hot. The ending of this book, jaw on the floor. What I loved about this book, some of the issues that have been happening with other fantasy books is that there'll be this huge plot twist, this huge reveal, and it will be like, huh? Like, what? Like that's so out of left field, and I'm kind of upset about it because I wasn't expecting it. While books like this, like with reveals and plot twists, it's like, oh my fucking God. No, like that makes so much sense. Why did I not figure that sooner? I did not realize that, but I should have realized it. You know what I mean? Like, I should have picked it up. It made sense. It was like, oh my God, this isn't too out of left field. This makes sense. But it was just done like Easter egg and like this slight under tension through the whole book that was just done so well. So well. Like, I had this whole thing where I'm like, there's something that we're not knowing. Like, this whole book, I was like, I don't know something. And I don't know who knows it. I didn't know if Xaden knew it. I don't know if, like, Dane knew it. I didn't know if, like, the higher-ups knew it. Something we did not know in this book. And I was like, what is going on? What do I not know? Like, cause there's just a little bit that gets your mind working, but I had no idea. And then, like, with 2 hours left of this book, I had this bad feeling. I was like, something is going wrong. I thought something else was gonna happen, and that did not happen. But I was right with my bad feeling because something bad happened. But now when I was expecting it all, I was like, what? And then the ending of this book, and then I fucking cried over a character. I'm so fucking sad. I think it's gonna hit more when I get into Iron Flame, and they're not there. I'm trying not to spoil, but I'm like reeling over this book. I just finished it last night, and I just can't. So, love it. I'm a little scared going into Iron Flame because I've heard so many mixed reviews. I'm also terrified because I can't pick up the next book right after this one because it's not out until January. So there's a part of me that's like, take as much time as I need through Iron Flame and zoom through it. But I need to know, at least need to start it, because I need to know the ending. I need answers. I just need scenes that I need the next book. I have had a series, like, even with Zodiac, like, it wasn't so like, I need the next book right now. What do you fucking mean? Huh? So, like, the cliffhangers in this are good. The one after 4 was like, huh? But I had to let myself, like, mentally recover from 4 in Zodiac Academy. This one, I need the next book. Where is it? Where is it right now? So, I bought Iron Flame. I already had Iron Flame from the library on an audiobook, but I wanted the physical book, so I bought it. It's not the end of August, but that is the 4 books I've read so far. I do not think I'm going to be finishing any other books besides Iron Flame this month. But yeah, I read 4 books. So that was a little longer than I was expecting. We're trying, but I just had to talk. I had to talk, and like, Fourth Wing had to talk about. So I'm gonna go through all of these unrolled scrolls, remind me of what they were, and then I'm going to come back and I'm gonna tell you which ones I pick, and then we're gonna pick from the TBR jar and go from there. So anyways, this is a fun plan. I just want to know what I'm reading. Like at the end of the month, I'm like, ooh, what is my next TBR? Even though I did not touch any of my current TBR. It's just a fun little game I like to play, but I'm also just a mood reader, and this is what I was nervous about. So I was like, I'll give me so many books, but then all those books are just like, huh? So I might just need to change it up. I probably should have done prompts, but there is prompts in there. It's just a lot of just actual books. So I'm playing with the rules and cheating, but it's my rule, like I said. So, okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I am keeping 7 from the original list, but 3 of them are prompts, so I'm going to repick for those guys. But we're keeping A Curse So Dark and Lonely, because I think that takes place in September or fall time. So I want to try and read that this month or next month anyway, so I just want to keep it on there. And then Lore by Alexandra Bracken. This has been on my TBR so many times, every month, and I just need to read it. It's a standalone thing. I just need to read it. Sometimes like I want to read a book, but it's daunting to start like a new book because then I have to like have the brain to like learn all the new stuff. And so it's a little daunting sometimes when I'm like, I just want to read something I'm reading, but then whatever I'm reading, I'm not actually interested in reading. So it's hard, but I will get that one started eventually. And then Fortune Falls will be fun. I want to try that one again. That's more dystopian, and that kind of gives me fall vibes, like this era of like not super cold, but like not super hot outside. I was wanting to keep Never Dying in there, but I have to actually buy the book, and I don't have money for that right now. So we're not going to keep that one in. And then Curse of Rog, we're going to keep in too because it sounds interesting possibly. This one's a maybe. If there's like none in this, I want to pick. If I just can't find another book, I'll use this one. But that's what I have right now. So we're going to repick for these guys. So A Book with Stars on the cover, the lowest rated on Goodreads. I'm going to see what it is first. And if it's something that I'm interested in trying right now, yes. But if I'm not ready to tackle it, then no. Because it's not going to be the one that was lowest. I'll kind of like look through the lower ones and see if I can find one. And then a book with a pretty cover. So right now, for sure, I have 3. We're going to pick 7. So let's pick these, we'll unroll them, and then we'll kind of all just decide the final books together. So, because I want to see what these books are before I make my decision. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to go unroll these really fast and I'll be right back. Okay, so let's see what these 7 are, and we'll go from there. The Darkest Winter by Lindsay Pogue. That's kind of, I'm thinking maybe leaving that for the winter time. And then The 15 Minute by Sabrina Bowen. Okay. That is the second time I have picked that book so far, because I picked it when I was struggling what I wanted to read next. So I just picked another one. The Anti-Virginity Pact by Katie Webster. That's so funny because I picked this book in my last TBR, but with the lowest rated on Goodreads, not the actual book, and now I'm picking the actual book. No. This one, we're either repicking. Maybe I'll just repick it really fast, because I already know that's a no. I'll just pick another purple. See, like that one's like a no. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Okay. I've heard good things about this book. I don't know if it's something that I would want to read right now, but it might be the kind of vibes. Okay, I'll hold on to that one just for a second. Let me just pull all of these. Highest rated owned book. This is a prompt. Love it. Okay, I think my highest rated owned book was Fourth Wing, so that's kind of funny. Let's see. A Murder to Remember by Brynne Kelly. This is the second time I've pulled this too. Why do I keep pulling the same ones? I mixed it up. Lady of Darkness by Melissa K. Rohenrich. And Heritage Beginning by A.R. Prilly. I own that book. That is right here. You can't see that, but it's right there. Okay, so this one's a no. Let's worry about the prompts, because none of these were giving me the prompt books that I picked, like what I would want to pick. So I think A Book with Stars on the cover, I'm going to pick The High Mountain Court. I've been thinking about that book, since almost pulling it in my August TBR. That was one of the ones I was debating between. So yeah, it has kind of like these little stars on the cover. You really can't see that. I'll put it up on the screen. I like have been thinking about this and was kind of bummed that the generator didn't pick this. I don't know why I just didn't pick it for myself. So I'm gonna put that book in my August TBR. This is my September TBR, Angela. So that's 4 books. The lowest rated on Goodreads, we're gonna kind of look through that really fast. It's kind of hard with ratings on Goodreads because it depends on how many like people read the book, because it could be like a really high rating but only 3 people read the book. It's just kind of, or like rated the book. It's just kind of hard. See, like the Atlas 6 is not a low rated book. It's just the lower rated. I don't care. I might do the Atlas 6 because the Atlas, like, that's not a low rated book on it, but the Atlas 6 is an academy book, and because like August, September is like the start of like school and stuff, and I've been kind of in the mood for academy books because I read Fourth Wing, I'm reading Zodiac Academy. I think the Atlas 6 is a good choice, so I'm gonna pick the Atlas 6, a book with a pretty cover. I think I'm still gonna pick Powerless for that, just because it is a really pretty cover and I want to read this book. I'm going to read this book. It's fine. So I'm going to pick Powerless. Now, my highest rated owned book. Let's see. Now let's see the opposite version. So my highest rated audiobook is A Light in the Flame, book 2, or Six of Crows. I can't read Six of Crows until I read, yeah, because this one only has 121 ratings and it's 4.38 like stars. That's like compared to like something that's rated over the 1000s and is in the 3-star range. That doesn't count for anything. For Six of Crows, I have to read the other series first, so maybe A Light in the Flame might be fun because I was just thinking about wanting to pick up that next book. Maybe let's put A Light in the Flame. I think that's a good choice. We'll put A Light in the Flame. A Light in the Flame, I do not own the physical copy. Guess I gotta go buy another book. I have the audiobook though, and I have the first book. I just don't have this book yet. You guys are just sitting with me while I figure this out. So this is fun. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I don't know, but I'm feeling yes. Let's keep it. Let's keep that. The Darkest Winter, no. I'm gonna pick something else for that one. The 15th Minute by Sabrina Bowman. That is the last book. I'll keep this one. A Murder to Remember, no. I was struggling with that book and I'm not about to put myself in a book slump. We're keeping up this momentum. We're gonna try. Heritage Beginning, not interested right now. And Lady of Darkness. Let me go read this and see how I can even read this, and then I will decide. There might be a reason that this book is on my TBR. That sounds so good. Hold on. Hold on. Yes. Really glad I read that description because yes, that's going on the September TBR. That sounds like a fucking blast. Okay, what number does that leave us at? Well, let's see. The Darkest Winter is a no. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, I always have to keep counting because like 15 is a certain number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need 5 more books. Before I go on like this deep dive trying to figure out what I want to read, I'm going to pick out 2 more purple and 2 more pink. Because sometimes it's just kind of nice to have like what book, hey, do you want to read this one? And then I can be like, yes, no. It would be like swiping on a dating profile. Here is your options. Do you want to take it? You know? So we're going to do this pink one and this pink one because they're like all falling apart. We're going to do this purple one and this purple one. There's so many unscrolled scrolls in front of me and I'm going to have to roll all these back up. I don't really care right now. I'm just gonna unroll these really fast and I'll be right back. Sorry, I'm kind of like getting in my own zone right now and I'm not really like, hey guys, you know, I'm just kind of figuring it out myself, but I hope this is enjoyable. I hope this is fun. This is a long ass video. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. But yeah, we're getting close to figuring out my September TBR and hopefully we'll actually read some from this. So anyways, I will see you in just a second after I'm done with this, which will be like literally a second because I only have 2 more. So we got the The Prison Healer by Lynette Nani. I will put this on my TBR. This sounds like such a fun book, and I keep like being interested in it, but I never pick it up. Yeah, this will be in the TBR for sure. Royal Catch by Riley Gilmore. No. Some of those ebooks that I own are gonna take me a while to read. Don't Date the Haunted by Sierra. Why do I keep picking like books from my last TBR or like the same author? Because I have The Dreaming Beauty by this author from last TBR, but now it wants me to read this one. That's so funny. What if I just pick again? Is that wrong of me? Oh, I have one more. I was like, where did my last purple go? Okay. No to the pinks. But the pinks are owned ones, so maybe I'll just pick some owned ones. Dark Rice by C.S. Packet. Okay, I will put this in. I don't know if I'll get to it, but one of my friends has read this book and has recommended it to me. So the fact I picked it, let's just put it in the TBR. So that takes away the purple. I picked both of those purple. Now I have 3 pink. I'll put the Curse of Rog in there. I'll just throw it in there. Again, I'm not going to get to 15 books, so we're getting a little ambitious. So I need 2 more, I think is what it is. And then those are pink ones. So give me a diddly darn second, and I will be right back with the choices. Okay, guys. Okay. I think we figured it out. It actually didn't take me as long as I thought it would. So, I will just read them all out, and then let me just tell you the 2, and then I'll read them all out and remind you, and then it'll be the end of this video. This really long video that I'm really happy you stayed for, and just kind of been figuring out what I'm reading and what I've been wanting to read. So that's really fun. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it. Okay, so The Last Storm. I heard this has a dragon shifter in it. And I heard that it's good for people who like Damon Salvatore, and I love Damon Salvatore. So I think because I'm kind of in this mood of dragons, I'm gonna do this one. And then Guild by Raven Kennedy. This one just has me drawn in. I know it's popular. I heard of a little bit about it, but I heard that I need to go into this book blind. The only thing I know is that it's some kind of retelling of something. But the cover, gorgeous. This one's kind of cover deciding, but I've heard good things from my little like book group that I talk to. And so I was really tempted to start this before I was reading, like debating between Powerless and Fourth Wing. That's why I'm gonna pick this one. So we have a decided factor. So let's just go over what I picked. Also, my books for this month following the same theme again. They're all around the same color scheme, which is fun. Okay, drum roll please. So, a book with stars on the cover is The High Mountain Court, I think is what it's called. It's right here. And then we have Fortune Falls. I think it's Fortune Falls, but I keep wanting to be like Fortune, like it's like a fancy word. It's Fortune Falls. This is an ebook. I think it's nice to have at least one of those so that I can, like, if I just want to scroll through my phone and read, this is it. A book with a pretty cover is Powerless. Hoping to get to this one this month. Lady of Darkness. Why don't you read that one? That one sounds good. Dark Rice by C.S. Paddock. I don't know why I'm reading some of the author names and some of them not. Here's the cover. And then A Curse So Dark and Lonely. The 15th Minute. The Prison Healer. I'm excited about this one. The lowest rated on Goodreads. And I picked... This is absolutely not the lowest rated on Goodreads. It's kind of hard to like do it correctly. And it's just its average rating. Lowest rated on Goodreads, The Atlas 6. Absolutely not, but that's what it says. It's not the lowest, but it's one of the lower. Which is just like, no, there's no way. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. The only reason I know how to say that last name is because it's so popular. The Curse of Rog. Okay, this one. Again, we're the same color scheme as last month. Lore by Alexandria. This is like the only like white one. All the other ones are black or dark covers. Guild, The Last Storm, and the highest rated owned book. What did I pick? The second book in the Flesh and Fire series, A Light in the Flame. So that's my TBR for September. We're gonna see if I fail. We're gonna see if this hopefully gets me to read the books that I picked. And we're just gonna kind of play this every month by ear to see what I'm liking and what I'm not and getting in a vibe, and hopefully getting more books read. I am getting more books read that I own, so that's exciting. I think doing this is making me excited to finish these books, at least getting to the books that I've been putting off. But I have read books that are on my TBR, and I'm not so like overwhelmed about, oh, there's so many books, you know, like I'm helping narrow it down. So that's really exciting to me. But yes, here is the books, the physical ones I own. See, this is a lot of physical books. Like, before I would have like ignored all the physical books. That's why I'm glad I did this TBR shelf. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I can't wait to come at the end of September and see what I actually read. And Angela, you're gonna edit this video and post it. Okay? You're gonna do great. You're gonna do great. I'm gonna do awesome. Cheer me on the comments. If you are seeing this, I did good. If I'm having to do like an end of September, what I've read the last 3 months, that might be a little extreme. But that's my TBR. That's what I've been reading. That was my August TBR. Did nothing. We're doing great. Anyways, with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next video.